Hey, vinyl community. Elliot here, Lazy Dogs Records, and I just watched Jonathan at Cheap and Cheerful Records do a look at his Blues Compilation records, and Julius Jabbar had done something very similar yesterday, I believe, and Jonathan kind of piggybacked off that and said, well, maybe we can start a thread on this. So here I am. I'm going to try to continue the thread. I'll leave you a link to uh, Jonathan's video below if you haven't seen that one. He's got a great channel. Sherv, Julius Jabbar has a great channel as well. And either of those, if and both of those, if you're not subscribed to them, I highly recommend their channels. If you enjoy learning about music, seeing records, hearing about them, things like that. Those are two guys that really do that aspect well. And isn't that what we're all here in the vinyl community about? Isn't that what we want to see is records and learn more about music and expand our horizons musically? Seems to be a lot of drama these days, uh, easy to get caught up in if you're not careful. But I think it's important that we have this refuge from the world at large and all its problems and just chaos, where we can come here and we can share our love for vinyl. So first, what are we listening to? A record I got from Russell, who has a little he sells records under Super Stuff Records in the area. I picked this up the other day. This is very good, and of course it's Max Roach on the drums and Clifford Brown, and I'm not sure exactly how we say that. Dahold, is it, or is it Dawson? I don't know. But this is on Mainstream Records. Really nice jazz. Max Roach doing a little drum solo right now. Very entertaining, very enjoyable, and plays so far now. It's the first time I played side two. Side one played almost flawlessly, and hopefully side two will do the same thing. Okay, so to the subject at hand, Blues Compilations albums. I've had this album a long time. When I was at school at Appalachian State University, there's Appalachian State, we won 3 national championships in football back in the 2000s, 2005, 6, and 7, before we went up to the bowl division and are doing very well there too. I was there, and we weren't any good at football at all when I was in school there in the early 80s. But when I was at school, I worked as a DJ, mostly doing a country radio show on Saturday mornings. But I filled in as a jazz during the jazz program and did some just general DJing on the general programming as well. So they had a lot of records that sat there and would never get played. And if I'm not mistaken, I decided this one needed a home when I graduated, and I carried this one home with me. And this is a Chess Records compilation, and it's called Chicago Blues Anthology. And some photographs of the stars there. Let's see the vinyl. This is one I haven't cleaned modern day. But there you go. Look at that. And it's a nice compilation. It's got among the artists John Brim, Robert McCullen, Johnny Shines is on here. I'm just going to name a few. Floyd Jones, Elmore James doing Dust My Broom, J.B. Leonard. There's another Elmore James, Floyd James, Willie Dixon's doing I Can't Stop on here, Eddie Boyd, Buddy Guy's on here. So nice anthology of blues from Chess. I'm not sure what year this was. Let's see if I see it in here. I didn't prepare for this at all. I just watched Sherv's video yesterday, and then just got through watching Jonathan's. Nice record there. Here's one I got recently, and features the ladies, Tough Mama. This one's called. And this is on Crazy Cat out of England. This is a 1989 issue, and it's got Pearl Reeves and the Concords, Big Mama Thornton, Honey Brown with Freddie Mitchell Orchestra, a couple of hers, Joe Evans, Martha Moore, Madonna Martin. A lot of these artists I don't know. Of course I know Big Mama Thornton, but I've listened to it a couple times. It is really good. Rose Johnson, Fluffy Hunter. I love her name, Fluffy. And Dorothy Ellis. So, and this is a lot of those double entendre songs on here. A really fun blues album by the ladies, Tough Mama. Here's one I picked up for next to nothing at a record show because, look at the jacket. It's all torn up. It's on Stash Records, and it is called Compilation 16 Original Blues Vocals. Compilation View Blues, sex blues in other words. And it's got Preaching Blues, Little Johnson doing Stave and Chain, and Bessie Smith's on here, Don't Do Your Duty. And so a lot of sexually suggestive songs on here. Maybe that's why the cover's torn, I don't know. You Stole My Cherry by Little Johnson. Another Bessie Smith, I Need a Little Sugar in My Bowl. Now that's a real suggestive one if you listen to that one. My Daddy Rocks Me with One Steady Roll. That's Tampa Red's Hokum Jug Band. Grant and Wilson do Keep Your Hands Off My Mojo. Barbecue Bass, Bessie Johnson does the song Barbecue Bass. And it's just an example of blues songs, double entendre, and sometimes not even double entendre, blues theme songs, sex theme songs. Okay, here's another one I got recently. Masters of the Blues, 1928 to 1940. And I love that picture. Robert Johnson's on here, Curly Weaver, Little Big Bill Gaither, Blind Boy Fuller, one of my favorites. Robert Hill, Tommy Johnson from the Robert Johnson song, isn't it? Doesn't he mention Tommy Johnson? Frank Stokes, Texas Alexander, Lonnie Johnson's on here, Eddie Lang, Willie McTell, and Bumblebee Slim. Now I know some of these blues artists from the 20s, and I don't know others. Chester, you're shaking my computer, buddy. Then we get into the blues rock realm. Picked this up at a record show too for not very much. There's probably a whole lot of them out there. Raw Blues, and this features John Mayall, Eric Clapton, Otis Spann, Peter Green, Steve Algolan, and Champion Jack Dupree. And this is on London Records, and I don't see a year on it, but John Mayall and Peter Green do Evil Woman Blues. Otis Spann's on here doing My Home's in the Desert. Several John Mayalls on here. John Mayall and Eric Clapton do Lonely Years. And, I'd say about 3/4 of these feature John Mayall and one of the other artists. And then here's a guitar Heavy Hands. On Columbia issued this one. I picked this one up at a thrift store somewhere, I believe. And it is, I don't see a year once again. I like it when they put the years on the jacket somewhere that they're issued. And they didn't seem to have done that in the 1960s hardly at all, and then in the 70s you start seeing it. This has got the Yardbirds with Jeff Beck, Johnny Winter, Pacific Gas and Electric, Taj Mahal doing Bacon Fat. Carl Perkins is on here. Freddie King doing Tore Down. Santana, Al Cooper, and Sugary Otis. Spirits on here. Fleetwood Mac, Stop Mess Around. And Mike Bloomfield's on here. So that's nice blues rock. And then I got a couple, three. Well, this is anthology of folk music I picked up on Discogs. I didn't pay much for this. I might have paid $5 or less for this. And this, of course, is a folk collection, and it's got a lot of stuff that's not blues. Of course, Pete Seeger and Odetta, although you might call Odetta blues. But Etta Baker, the acoustic guitarist, is on here. Let's see who Lead Belly's on here. You know, it's a very folk-oriented blues. Josh White has a whole side on here. Lightning Hopkins has a whole side on here. And some more Lightning Hopkins. Brownie and Sonny are on here. John Lee Hooker has a whole side. And then there are Negro prison songs from the Mississippi State Penitentiary that take up a whole side of the last album on this anthology, which technically aren't blues, of course, but akin to them anyway. And this is a nice little anthology, kind of a little mishmash of different folk artists, including blues artists within the folk realm. But of course, what I really want to eventually get is the Harry Smith's Anthology of American Folk Music, I believe it's called. I could get it on CD. I'd love to find a vinyl reissues find. I'd love to find a vinyl reissue of it. But right now, to get a copy on Discogs, I mean, it's hundreds of dollars they're asking for me. It's way more than I can afford. And then I picked this up recently, Folk Festival at Newport on Vanguard. And it's volume 2. And Odetta's on here. And Sonny Terry and Brownie McGee are on here, of course. Just they're the blues artists I would mention. There's some old time from the New Lost City Ramblers. Joan Baez is on here doing a little something. Nice little album with some of it making up blues. And then this is one I haven't filed under Muddy Waters because all the rest of these I have under various artists in my collection. But I have the Folk Festival of the Blues recorded live. Muddy Waters is the first name on here, so when I started categorizing, I put this one under Muddy Waters. This is a reissue, and I think I picked it up inexpensively on Amazon. Vinyl Lovers is the reissue label from 2018, and it's got Muddy Waters, Buddy Guy, Howlin' Wolf, Sonny Boy Williamson, and Willie Dixon on here from a folk festival sometime in the 1960s. I'm not sure exactly which year it is, but anyway, it's a nice little compilation. Wee Wee Baby by Muddy Waters, Willie Dixon, and Buddy Guy. Sitting and Thinking by Muddy Guy. Worry Blues by Buddy Guy. Bring It On Home, Sonny Boy Williamson. Sugar Mama, Howlin' Wolf. That's side 1, and similar collection of artists and songs on side 2. So that's my compilations of the blues that I have. Most of my blues collection is in the form of CDs, because when I was really doing a lot with the blues, listening to a whole lot of blues and collecting a lot of blues, I was in my late 20s, 30s, 40s. So they're mostly CDs. But these are the vinyl I have. Okay, everybody, I'll remind you, be kind to your neighbors, because we're all neighbors. Take care.